Guys, altcoin eruption. Plus, big thing that we've got to speak about is Bitcoin making a higher high. We finally got past the high, wicking just past right now. And now we're going to pay attention to this current flag that is being formed here. Is this the step for Bitcoin making its way towards $35,000? We saw XRP pump. Let's actually look at our banter bubbles for the day. It's great. It's great to see some bullishness. And those who've been patient, those who have stuck around in the times where the markets are boring, they're going sideways, those are ones that get the reward. And again, this is why you got to pay attention. So when the market slows down is when it's prepping for something. And the longer you go sideways, the bigger the move. All of a sudden, what happens yesterday? We have news come out of the XRP giving hope to things like Solana, Cardano, many different tokens. And all of a sudden, we saw XRP push. We saw a Stellar push. We saw a Solana pump. We saw AVAX waking up and currently waking up now as we speak too. We have Cardano. And in general, we ultimately had a great altcoin push to the upside. And the big question is now, I'm only starting to see weekly break of trends happening right now. This could be the possible, just the start of a good, strong 4 to 6 weeks to the upside. The fact that we're only breaking resistances now, is crazy. But what we got to keep in our heads is the perfect timing and what is basically coming next. I think there's a possibility of meme coins. I think a Doge pump is coming at any single moment. I see a lot of these starting to happen. So in the show, we're going to be going through the coins that have already pumped a lot. What are we doing? Are we selling? Are we adding? What are we doing? How long are we holding these things? Secondly, what are the next altcoins to pump? What are the next ones that could add? How can we continue this dominance to come down? Because that's what created the pump yesterday, guys, was the dominance collapse. All of a sudden, we saw the Bitcoin dominance. Look at that. I spoke about it. There's the drawing from yesterday. I spoke about we are having a lower high in dominance. Something is up, and we needed a catalyst. And thank you, XRP. You hurt me a lot in the last bull market, and you haven't been my best friend, but you may have just triggered the altcoin season that we've been waiting for right now. So I do say thank you, and I say thank you to the XRP army as well. Massive show, guys. No more wasting time. Let's get into it.
Click, click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click, click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper. Sharp shooter advisor. Enter the sniper. He marks the charts right. Enter the sniper. He's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper. Click, click, click. Time to be dedicated. Sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Master Sheldon, tell us all. We got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper. Sharp shooter advisor. Enter the sniper. He marks the charts right. Enter the sniper. He's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper. Click, click. Enter the sniper. Enter the sniper.
Banter fam, it's a great day. It's a great day. We have to celebrate our wins. And will this be the next possible start? So what I'm here to do, I'm here to firstly pump you up to say well done on those who got the pump. Secondly, let's look at what's next. Let's stay level-headed on not chasing the pump and getting really good buys. We saw it yesterday with the XRP, just noticing that the coin's been going absolutely sideways. It's been accumulating for a while, and it started breaking a major trend yesterday. And therefore, for me, I remember even calling on the show, and I was just like, I feel XRP is going to be a big player, and we need a big coin to pump. We need a big coin to pump to reverse that dominance. And the two that came to mind for me was XRP and Ethereum. And we're going to speak about Ethereum because right now we're starting to get a little bit of a dominance pullback. Imagine we have Big Daddy Ethereum wake up. All of a sudden you have Ethereum break the 2100 level. Therefore, there's a squeeze. They can take it all the way to the $2,500, $2,600 level, which for me may indicate that there's a lot more downside within the dominance. And we have to trade it that way, guys. Again, you don't want to, your opinion is there, and that's fantastic. But when the chart is telling you something, you just go with what the chart is telling you. Very simple. And right now we have dominance spiking down. So guys, who got the pump yesterday? Pop in the chat there. Who got the pump? I see someone said, yeah, XRP made me 3,657% on my investment. Woo! Money, baby. That's good. That's good. That's good. Well done. I see many comments over here. I got it. People are speaking about injective protocol. We're going to speak about it. I'm going to speak about XRP now, guys. Many different things. Okay, amazing. So first thing, guys, get Banter Bubbles. Go to your app store right now and get Banter Bubbles. You can download it at App Store. You can get it on the web. It shows you that when a market moves like this, you want to find out what's showing strength. So whenever you see Bitcoin breaking major levels and you jump on and you're like, what's the strongest coin that's running with Bitcoin right now? Because you've got a heated Bitcoin. You want to see what's outperforming Bitcoin. So get Banter Bubbles. Secondly, come join me in Sniper School. I want to remind you again, Cohort 7 starting in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And guys, I do have a little bit of news on this. Firstly, this is the course. It's going to teach you everything you need if this market goes full bull now. Because if it goes full bull now, this could be the run that runs all the way through into 2024. It really could. You're going to have the ups and downs. You're going to have resets. You're going to have these liquidation hunts. And I'm here to help you guys with that. But please make sure you know how to use a stop loss. You know take profit tools. You have a trading journal. You have rules to help you along the journey. And you know all of these patterns. When should I be adding? When should I be doing things? And I've actually just recorded an incredible video that I want you to watch tomorrow and on Sunday, which is an educational video that's dropping. But I teach you how you can build huge positions on these runs. I literally show you where you can take your account and you can actually add in trades inside of one trade. So therefore, you start your first trade on a reversal pattern. Then it makes a wedge and it adds in here. You take your profits, you add it in. You move your stop up. And ultimately, out of four trades over here, 750%. 750% just on this move that just happened now. A lot of people only would have made the 30% that it actually moved. So make sure you're on this. And next thing with Cohort 7, guys, is it's the last one for now. We're going to update the new system. But the last one that you can get 100% free right now using an exchange link. So if you go below and you click the registration, it's going to send you 3 basic steps. Go sign up for Sniper School, open an exchange account. This is the last one that runs on this system, guys. There is a system update as we do know regulations coming. We do know things are happening. And we don't know how much longer leverage and trading rev is going to be here. And that's one thing I want you guys to pay attention to, is you don't have to put a lot of money into these things. That technique that I taught you there is $50. I teach you to do $50 to take it to thousands of dollars. You don't put a lot. I don't care if you got hundreds of thousands of dollars in your bank account. No. It's about starting small on a specific trading account while you have your long-term in, making money over time. You've got this little one that keeps you active. It keeps you in the market. It keeps your emotions under control and all these sort of things. So you may not have leverage in the next year. So it's up to you if you want to use the tool or not before it's gone. And that's the big thing. So make sure, join Sniper School. Okay, let's go, guys. Let's go. It's a good, fantastic day so far. So let's jump into Bitcoin quickly. Nice little push from Bitcoin. We broke the wedge. I spoke about this wedge. And what I spoke about is either way that we break this wedge is the major resistance or support we're going to go test. So the big one that we've obviously had is this $31,500 level. The big high, you know, the big weekly high that separates bull market to bear market. And if we get through the bull market line, it now opens up the doors for $35,000 to $48,000 targets to the upside within Bitcoin. Now, if we end up having a dominance crash and Bitcoin does go to those levels, you're about to see one of the biggest alt moves in a very long time. Doesn't mean that it goes to all-time high, but I'm talking hundreds of percents. And you can already see it with Solana. Solana 3-4 weeks ago was $14. It's done 100%, guys. XRP has done 100%. And there are many other tokens that are breaking similar areas to be doing that. So therefore, again, we're at that critical stage of clever, smart money versus retail money. Anywhere above the $32,000 to the $35,000, $40,000 level, I like to call latecomers, guys that are already too late, in my opinion, that are just coming in for the FOMO of the market moving, and they weren't accumulating in the smart areas. And sadly, guys, this will be the people that you actually sell into, because you smart money, you've been buying in lower areas. And as it gets to that extended area, you're going to start selling into them. And therefore, when price rejects and comes back for a nice little weekly test, you're going to be the one buying when they panicked out because they bought and now their money's going down. And you're going to be the one that's buying where they're panicking. And that's where you're separating yourself. You're now starting to get smart and start to understand which team you want to be on, because you have two teams in crypto. The first team is 5%. 5% of the people in crypto that run 95% of the money, 90% of the money. That's the first team. Then you got the second team, which is 90% of all the people that can make 5% of the money. That's the teams you get. You got two teams in here. Which team are you? And it's just about the mentality of what we're doing. So back in over here, right now we did crash through and we made a higher high. This for me is important. This is important that we got through this high. We're starting to slowly eat through this wall. And I was worried that they were offloading. The fact that we were going sideways for so long and keep rejecting, it's like, are they offloading for a big rejection? You know, that was the big one. But the fact that we did pop our head through makes me really good. Why I think Bitcoin stopped is because dominance is ripping down in altcoins. Money, Bitcoin's trying to pump, but money's flying out of Bitcoin into altcoins. And that's why it's like taking its time. But what you want to pay attention to here, you want to go to the hour chart and you want to go just draw this trend line on Bitcoin. Because now you know it's now just tipped through the top. It's now removed that wall, which is very important. And now you want to see when it's going to go temp for the high, where it's really going to go temp and start making some decent moves, which probably means a short-term bounce within dominance, which we'll speak about in a second. But guys, the target remains the same for me. I think Bitcoin makes its way up, especially if we can turn this $31,500 level into support. I would like to see a nice push from Bitcoin over the weekend now. Get it to the areas of 32, 33, come back, test it. But what was previously a really hard level to get through, we want to make it the new floor, the new base. The base where we now, okay, we finally got through this level. Now we want to hold this level. And after that, I do see a slow climb of Bitcoin to 35,000. I do have higher targets. For now, we focus on 35,000 as dominance is coming down and it's big moves within altcoins. So where I would say you just want to protect yourself if you're in any Bitcoin trades or you want to see like, should I take short-term profits and stuff? I'd worry still the $30,000 levels of support. So as long as we still hold $30,000 for Bitcoin, all of these targets are still valid and are still looking strong to the upside. Now, let's quickly go into the dominance. So we really made a lower high. We started going sideways there, and all of a sudden, boom, huge push to the downside. Therefore, started to release the altcoins. Now what we want to question ourselves is how big is this? When's the money going to go back into Bitcoin? Is this going to be a good period of where the altcoins are going to really start moving? Because altcoins are only just starting to break major trends. They're not really like they're moving, but this could end up being a way bigger move. This can be a $50, $60 Solana. Like that's what we're going to be speaking about. But end of the day, what we do have is a short-term collapse within dominance. Now it is coming to support. And this is where it gets really interesting. Because if dominance, it shows more downside now. I don't think we've bounced on support yet. I think we will bounce on a support somewhere over here, which is more or less still more growth within altcoins, still more strength. But then I do think there's a bounce. And what I would love to see is if Bitcoin can slowly creep up now and just hold 31,000, by the time that we get here and we have a Bitcoin breakout, therefore this I think could bounce, but this is where Bitcoin goes beast mode. And what you're going to start to see within this market, you're going to see Bitcoin, altcoins. There's going to be a shift where one day one's going to be stronger than the next. And therefore, the days that the alts are not stronger than Bitcoin, you're focusing on buying. And then the same thing is when it shifts in, you want to be in before the shift happens back from Bitcoin back into alts. So you're going to use the days where Bitcoin outperforms altcoins to actually build your next positions for the next trades. And therefore, when you have the push back into altcoins, you're in the altcoins. So very important to just understand the mental shift of what you guys are about to come. You're about to put all of your hard work, all of your sweat and tears that this market's put you through over the last 2 years. And now comes down to this. All that experience comes down to this is what you got. Now you got to make it happen. Because a lot of people struggle. The market can literally go up for months and you won't make money. And that's why you got to learn to adapt within it. So at the moment, what I'm looking at in the short-term scenario, I think dominance comes down more. This, for me, still gives strength within altcoins, which means you're going to still see huge popcorn effects.
You all laughed
You're going to
at
see...
me. Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you?
Say that. Read the bed, bro. Put your sound on. We can't hear you. Just double check. Random man has joined the party. So, guys, again, I still think more downside. Now, let's speak about ultra bull, like ultra bull, where now all of a sudden alt season goes mad, is we lose this. This comes down. Therefore, I think dominance comes all the way down to 44%. This, for me, gets ETH back to 3.5. It gets to 4. Like, you're just going to see a crazy move. At the end of the day, guys, you can have your opinion about each scenario, but you got to be prepared and got to be ready for either one that plays out. Because if this one plays out, this is where your long-term portfolio goes crazy. Now, this is how you trade it. The way you trade it is you separate your accounts. You separate that one part, a smaller part is trading. And that one, you're going to take profits on every single pump. And every single flag, you'll enter new trades, you'll go crazy. Then what you have is your long-term portfolio that's going to ride all of this. Because I still feel you're going to start the slow climb to the upside, and you want to be in both. So whenever you're afraid, or you're like, should I take profits? You're not afraid to take profits on that account because your other one's still in. So therefore, if it keeps going, no problem. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to split your accounts and start being smart. Start being one part of you as a basic trader that just makes money within these pumps. And those profits, you can keep filling your long-term bags. And your long-term portfolios to swing throughout this whole bull market. And all you're going to use is the monthly stochastic RSI. And when that thing gets to the top within your altcoins, you start dollar costing out. You start getting out of them. That's it. You're going to make such a simple strategy for yourself. Ran.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Just echoing really bad. And it doesn't seem, you know what's funny about this actually? We're in a bull market, bro. We need a bull market mic. Like, you know,
hold on. Is
it from your computer?
Okay, you're getting sound from it. Okay, I'm going to
you sound like Kyle.
I'm going to reboot my computer. I'm going to reboot my computer and I'm coming back.
Yeah, you sound like
this is all because of
United Airlines. No,
it's
United
all because
Airlines.
of James. It's all because of James. This is all because of James. All of this happened.
I know. It's Jimmy.
It's
okay, cool. Restart. Because I got a lot to speak to you about, bro. I got a lot to speak to it. Okay, come back. So we got to prep for either one. So end of the day, and the reason why I'm just going into depth with this, guys, because you're going into the weekend. I am going on holiday with the family. So I'll go. If Bitcoin breaks $35,000, I go live. Other than that, I'm taking a break just to breathe. So this is the play. Now, next bigger one I'll speak about now is Ethereum, because we're speaking about the two scenarios in dominance. Okay, the first scenario is Ethereum just still hovers for a while, doesn't do much. You know, it grows slowly, but not too much. The second one is Ethereum breaks out, and it breaks a very important level. So I want to show you over here why I'm paying attention. If you got a lot of Ethereum or not, you got to appreciate Ethereum, because if Ethereum comes to life as what XRP just did, you're going to have that dominance continue down. So you want a strong Ethereum. The stronger you have Ethereum, therefore the better chance of dominance keep coming down. Therefore your altcoins continuing to just go absolutely crazy to the upside. And this is how it would work with Ethereum. Right now, we did break a wedge and we are on the way to the upside, which is good. But what I'm seeing now is over the next day or two, a slow grind up in Ethereum. And we want Ethereum to break this 2100, the place that we stopped last time. If that happens, what you're going to see is you're going to see a Ethereum squeeze to the upside. And ultimately from that, you're going to see a quick increase in prices. What you just saw in Solana, what you just saw in many tokens, that's when this wakes up. And all of a sudden, you can see Ethereum sitting at 2,600 at any moment. Now, this is big. It's a big market cap token. Therefore, if this plays out in the next few days, I do see this dominance possibly coming lower. I actually see dominance possibly reversing, not this whole move, but doing a decent correction where it comes here, here, and then there. And if we get anywhere near that, it's probably one of the biggest altcoin moves we have seen in the last 2 years, just before bull market. It's a really big one that takes it to major levels. Now, jumping back over here, what that does too is what we need to see is we need to see the Ethereum to Bitcoin. So what I really liked about it was the fact that we had Bitcoin break the high, phenomenal news, dominance come down, but we also had Ethereum to Bitcoin bounce. So what you can see is this is a long-term wedge that's been forming. It is showing strength that this should continue over here. And if this breaks, it's crazy. It's crazy the levels we're at. And I'm here to pump you guys up because this week I've been two things to you. I've been bearish and I've been bullish. I've given you guys all the scenarios. But inside my heart, I've been prepping really hard for this run to the upside. Really, really, really hard. And doesn't matter how many times we've been stopped in the last 2 years. Doesn't matter how much dips we've been through. This is where we make it all back. Plus interest. This market will not defeat us. Will not defeat us. So this is obviously a big one. Now, let's start jumping into the coins. Which one do I start with? Which one? Let's, do you want to talk XRP? Yeah, let's talk XRP. Let's talk XRP. Okay, guys, like I'm not gonna, Run's gonna come in and I know he's gonna come claim clout. You know him. When the market moves and Sheldon's on fire, then Run comes and shows his head. But end of the day, guys, we got this probably one of my best calls ever. I've done many good calls before and quick ones, but this is one of my quickest calls ever. We spoke about XRP yesterday. And what I saw yesterday was I saw it obviously trending on support. It was really accumulating. What I spoke about is the longer we go sideways, the bigger the push. And I literally tweeted in this area over here. Let's actually have a look at XRP. I literally tweeted this image here, and it's the exact same chart. And I said, guys, and I spoke about it on the show yesterday as well, 40 cents. I got a feeling personally, but I also feel that this thing's been accumulating. It's been holding really well over the dumps. XRP is going to move. Like that was my full thoughts of it. And all of a sudden, the same drawing. Look at this. XRP pumped all the way to the areas of $1. Now run. Let's hear your sound.
1 2 1 2.
Yes, bro. Woo! So good. Why
Bro,
did XRP pump, bro?
You gotta take credit. You gotta take some credit. You gotta take some credit. You gave calls in the last couple of days. I thought you were a mad maniac. You told me to go. You told me to ape into Solana, so I aped into Solana. You told me to ape into XRP. I didn't do that. But I did take your call on Solana. I made a fortune on the Solana trade. A fortune on the Solana trade. I'll show you. I mean, it's only...
and I got another trade for you just now.
Yeah, so let me show you.
I got another trade.
Let me show you. Because so when you said XRP, I thought, no, I'm not doing XRP because I just didn't think that what would happen. That's my Solana trade, 53,000 up.
Woo!
On the Solana trade.
Nice.
Yeah,
bro. Nice. And you've been accumulating that one also for a while. I'm glad you added more.
Yeah, the whole weekend I actually added more and more. And I thought you were crazy when you started calling things like XRP. And I mean, this morning you called Dogecoin on the morning call. I thought you were crazy, but they all happened. It's as if the charts were telling us a story of what was about to happen. Like I remember you drew that line for me on the Solana Bitcoin chart, and you said there was that big breakout in Solana Bitcoin. And you said to me, "There's a big breakout coming out here." And I was like, "What could cause this breakout? What could possibly cause this breakout?"
And you know, let's take ourselves back 3 weeks ago. For me, it felt like an altcoin capitulation. Remember that day where Bitcoin just fell like 3% and the alts got like smashed. And for me, it was like that capitulation feeling of like these alts are just getting wrecked and there's got to be a strong move. So yes, Solana broke a really long trend and a lot of coins are starting to do so now. But why, in your thoughts quickly, let's quickly speak about XRP 2 secs, just so we can see fundamentally where we're at, so we can match it with the chart to be like, because I think we're topping out on XRP, me personally, but I'd love to know your thoughts fundamentally. Do you think XRP continues? Like what happened? What's your understanding of it?
I'll tell you what I did yesterday. I'm not recommending anybody else do this, but I'll tell you what I did yesterday. First of all, I shorted XRP at 82 cents. Okay, why?
Oh, wow.
Because I thought, no, I'll tell you what. I just think that it was getting euphoric. Coinbase was listing it. Kraken was listing it. Everybody was listing it. I was like, okay, this is the party. Now there's going to be a hangover after it. But then I did something else, and I've got to show you what I actually did here. Okay, so this is my logic. I went on to Banter Bubbles. I went on to the 𝗬𝗍𝗍. Okay, and then in the 𝗬𝗍𝗍, you can kind of see which tokens are reversing quickly. I saw that Stellar Lumens started to reverse after 1 hour. Then this is my trading idea. My trading idea here was to say as follows. Both of them increased 60 or 70%. The difference between Stellar and XRP is that Stellar doesn't have a community. XRP has a community. So XRP can be irrational for a long time, right? XRP can like be irrational for a long time and the community can pump it for a long time. But Stellar Lumens, eventually when the music stops, Stellar Lumens is going to go back down. So I am short. I'm still short.
Why do they pump together? It blew my mind because even the last bull market, they run together. Like, what do you think this working together between Stellar and XRP is?
They were created by the same creator, a guy called 𝗕𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫. He created them both. He was the programmer that created them both. Yeah, so they were created by the same guy. Kind of the chain is actually very similar. It's pretty much the same kind of technology, or was. I think maybe now like one's done some more upgrades, one hasn't. But there's no reason. There's no good reason why Stellar Lumens should be trading at like a high number. So I think when the music stops, and I think now we are in the peak of the euphoria, specifically around XRP, maybe even a little bit around Solana, maybe even a little bit around Cardano. Any of these tokens that used to be securities. Now, I mean, this thing is big. What happened yesterday?
So what happened? I think let's start with that quickly. Let's go with XRP. What happened? What happened?
So the judge in the XRP case ruled that when XRP was offered to institutional investors, it was a security. But when it is trading on exchanges and is being offered by exchanges, it's not a security. Okay, that is huge. That is huge. That is huge. And wow, the judge said something very interesting. The judge said something along the lines of, don't quote me, we'll do that on my show. But the judge said something like, some of the people that were actually buying XRP had no idea about who the Ripple company and what the Ripple company actually does and how the Ripple company is connected. Okay. What does that mean? You extrapolate that now to all other tokens, and you say, okay, well, if people can't reasonably understand where the centralized entity is, that can't be a security. And if it trades on an exchange, that's not a security, which means that if you're buying and selling these things on exchanges, the exchanges don't need to be regulated by the SEC because they're not securities anymore. And it also means that all these tokens that the SEC has deemed to be securities, well, no, they're not actually securities, because this is the first law that we have. We now have a law. And because once you have a judge that has given a ruling on something, that's the law. That's the law. And so from now on, all these tokens are not actually securities. If you can prove the same thing as the same circumstances. Now, not all tokens are in the clear. So let's be clear here. Ethereum,
okay. Just before we go, because I actually want to go through the tokens, the ones that really got hit, and then we can speak about them, and then we'll speak about the new ones. I just want to quickly just chat, guys. So when I gave this XRP, it was showing a big gap, and there was two areas for me between the 70 and 80 cents as TPs. So I think anyone that had short-term trades, I think this was a good thing, bullishness, and I think it's great, maybe longer time frame as well for XRP. But I do think this is an extreme high pump. So for me, I do think this is a TP level. I do have one more area at $1. So I just want to let you guys know that my first TP did get hit on XRP, and taking any profits here would make some sense. Because I do think there's going to be another buy around 60 cents. So I think we'll be loading up. Now let's speak about those tokens, Ron, because all of a sudden we got Solana, we got Cardano, what's happening?
Whoa. So let's look at all the tokens that were named securities. Cardano, Solana, MATIC,
what's BNB?
BNB. There's one thing here that makes these tokens all very different from XRP. You can stake them and you can get yield. And because you can stake them and you can get yield, that makes them, there's still a door open for the SEC to attack those tokens. They can go and say, look, maybe XRP is not a security, but if you can stake it and you can earn yield as part of proof of stake, those could be securities. But what we learned yesterday is we learned that these tokens, that the SEC can no longer just go into the bar and just swing and just knock people out. That's not going to work anymore, because they've lost their first one. And now I think they're going to start losing a lot more, which is why Coinbase went crazy yesterday. I don't know if you saw Coinbase.
I saw, bro. Well done on that call, dude. I remember it was on Kitco, right? Where did you call it on Kitco?
$40. We called it for the community at $40, and it's trading at $107 yesterday. $107 is where this thing is. I mean, that's making 3x on a stock in less than 90 days. I've never done that.
For that one, brother.
I've never done that. Brilliant call. I've been screaming my lungs out saying this is the best buy on the crypto market now, is actually to go and buy Coinbase. People in the chat, I know exactly, they know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that is.
Was there a slowdown? We spoke about the alt season, the institution stocks. Did they pump yesterday? I didn't even see. Did they pump on this stuff? Did they stop now and now it's in crypto? It's actually interesting to see what's happening there.
Oh no, they went up. Let's look at this. Right went up 14, another 14%.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, okay.
Now let's quickly just look at a bit. I don't know what I actually don't know what the. Hold on. Let's just quickly get. There's a spreadsheet somewhere from the research team. The research team actually made me a spreadsheet. I'll quickly get the spreadsheet. And then we can actually, I hope the spreadsheet actually feeds. But I mean, these guys are all going up. Let's actually see what MicroStrategy did yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be interesting to see what's happening there.
I imagine it went 11%. I mean, that's crazy. That's a big number.
It's crazy, bro. It's the tinglies, right? The tinglies. I think let's quickly chat here. So Solana was obviously one of those labeled. And like you said, there's still a gap, right? There's still a gap where they can possibly create problems here. But what we did end up seeing on the charts is we finally saw Solana crack the FTX loss of support. And I think that's a big one for Sol, because it feels like it got really hit hard. Since then, it hasn't been able to crack that high. And all of a sudden, yesterday, we finally smashed through those levels. And now I think we can finally...
It's a big level. Psychologically, that FTX level is a big level. Just think about it from an investor point of view. It's a big level. Big
It's a big level. And now all of a sudden it opens the doors. So what I see firstly is the break of that. And I think that now becomes the base for Solana on this push. So that previous 26, 27, I think this is going to start becoming the support. If we keep getting this continue, I think it's going to now become the level where Solana reclaims. And for me, this was a level that separated bear market for Solana and possible going back into bull. And the fact that we're on this side again now, look at all of that stuff still to come. But at least now it can stop we can stop dwelling in the past. It's like basically the ex broke its heart. You know what I mean? It was sitting sad for a while. And now we're back. So for me, again, I am slightly on the $26 or $27 retest. I'm adding a little bit more for spot within my Solana, because now I think it has open ways. I don't see much resistance to $40, and I even have a possibility that I think Solana can go up to the $50 range. So I think this is just the start for Solana.
Why not?
It's not full yet. We can't think of 100 yet, but I think for me, definitely the areas of 50. I think that's where we go. It got brutally hit, and I think now RSIs are fueled up, and it looks really, really, really good. Now, what's obviously interesting with that was we saw a few more wake up. Obviously, we started to see MATIC. So MATIC started to break through too. And for me, MATIC's not doing what Solana's doing. Yes, it's making ground, and it cracked a very important level. So I do think MATIC from this still continues up. I do think it hits $1, and I do have a target of 1.2. But it's weird how Solana is just looking like ultra. You know, like you got the same coins all affected, but Solana is just the one that's really, really looking pumped. So therefore, I would still be holding my MATIC, guys. I do think there's higher levels. It's just not in crazy bull just yet. So just be patient with this, and I think it's a slow climb up. So I think as a long term, and when you're holding it now, I think you're just going to make some good money over time. I don't see crazy explosiveness like Solana just yet, because it hasn't cracked the dollar is the important range. Remember the whole of the bear market, MATIC got through $1 and it held $1. We got to get through $1 again for it to go like crazy bull again.
Let's talk about, like, I know there's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines, and not everybody listened when we said we're in a raging bull market.
I got more calls.
Yeah, so let's talk about, if you're sitting on the sidelines right now, you missed the Solana pump, you missed the MATIC pump, you're feeling a bit left out of this. What do you do now? What do you do?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you, what do you do?
Yeah, so me, it's like you obviously lost your crazy degen areas on Solana, but I do think you can get some at 26. Like whatever money you wanted to spend on it then, or you're looking for a possible lower area, I do think 50% can deploy it on the retest. Same on MATIC. I feel you got time on MATIC. There will be a nice red day. Guys, there is going to be a red day at some point. And the main thing is we've broken all the major areas. So I definitely would be buying a lot of these retests. But now you have new coins. And I think that's the question. Yesterday was the area of, you know, these coins that got really hit, but with securities and things like that, they got hit. Now, when do we have the rest of the altcoin market? Because they pumped yesterday, but they're only starting to just break trends now. And those you could still be early. But what's your thoughts on this dominance? I'm going to go to dominance here for a second.
A lot of alts didn't even bounce. Like if I look at Algorand didn't even bounce.
Nothing.
I look at Near Protocol, hardly bounced. Like some altcoins, the ones that were called securities by Gary Gensler, they bounced. The other altcoins, nothing. I've got an Algorand position from a long time ago, and I can see them. Like,
me too.
Dead.
So what we have here, we got two scenarios on dominance. The first one is it comes now, it broke that very important 50, it's coming to test it. And therefore, if it bounces here, I think Bitcoin breaks that major level and goes for the highs, okay? But we have the second scenario. And the second scenario is we lose that 50. And we decide to actually have a decent pullback back to maybe 47, 46, which would be crazy. The only way I would believe this is Big Daddy ETH. I think if ETH can break to Bitcoin and ETH can break 2100 and we have a push in ETH, then I think as a whole, I think the rest of the altcoin market can start to move up. So I would probably be playing that narrative. I'll be focusing on ETH now and focusing on when ETH breaks these levels, because then I think the whole altcoin market as a whole wakes up. Because the first ones, because for me, what happens next? I think we need retail. If they want to continue this alt pump now and we want to continue, I think we need retail. Therefore, for me, I'm focused on 3 coins, not for long term, but to see where money flows next and how we're going to get this dominance to continue down. First one that comes to my mind is Doge. I spoke about it this morning. And what I'm seeing with Doge is I'm seeing a long trend. And what you've noticed with Doge, it's either a tweet, it's either something that comes out that just creates this crazy push. And it always happens after a long accumulation like this. And this is a great daily trend. This is running from October, guys. October last year, all the way to now. So you're running at around about a 10-month or 8-month trend to the downside. And now it's popping its head through. So me personally, I'm starting to dollar cost into a Doge position now. I nailed Solana. I took my account. I think I made $10,000 or $12,000 yesterday within Solana. And now I'm distributing into Doge because I have Solana long-term and I have Solana margins that are running at the moment. And I'm looking at the next one. So do you agree with me that do you think 𝗏𝗏𝗃 awakening because here it's right at resistance. After that, it's huge.
I went to Fred this morning and I said to him, Freddie, because Fred's been in cash. And I said to him, Fred, are you in the market? And he said to me, I am. I bought 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗃.
You see, that's the thing. Why? Like,
and I asked him, why did you buy, of all the tokens that you could have bought, why did you buy 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗃? He said, you know what? He said, I'm not gonna fight to the smart man. He says, I know the dumb man is gonna start flowing in. They're gonna see the market's running, and where they're gonna go. They're going to go into the dumb tokens. He says that's the market I want to play. I mean, he's smart. Why must you go and fight a big fight when you can just go? And, it's like if you go out on a Saturday night and then like you get into a fight. You got a choice. You can get into a fight with all the big bodybuilders, or you can just go and get into a fight with a whole lot of kids. You know, like you're not going to go with the big bodybuilder. Well, Fred's got the right attitude. He's got the right attitude.
He does. And what I'm noticing here is very similar to what I saw to XRP and I saw with Solana. It's these long trends. And what's weird about yesterday is I'm looking at what can extend this dominance to keep going down like this, because we want a major alt season. And if we can lose that 50, what would help? And what I noticed was 𝗕𝗵𝗄 daily breakout, Shibu daily breakout, Doge daily. They haven't ripped yet. They haven't done that crazy thing yet. But you have all three breaking the same trend on that time. Do you think they could be one of the next ones to get the retail in? Because I think we need retail. I think retail's still sitting here now and they're like, they got FOMO, but they're not like, I have to go full in yet. We need these bad boys to wake up.
Yeah. Someone says weird analogy, beating up kids, but you know what I mean. You're gonna go beat like bodybuilders or smaller people. You're gonna go fight smaller people. Of course, you're gonna go fight smaller people.
Next one's waking up.
You know what I've been doing this. I don't know if this helps you or anybody. So I went to my banter bubbles. I've set 3 filters. One is the 15-minute performance. So just to show you that, you click filter, and then you pick your time frame. So I've picked 15 minutes. I've picked hourly, and then I've picked daily. So what am I doing? I'm literally toggling between the 15 minutes to see where the breakouts are. So like now I'm looking to see, then I'm confirming it on the hourly, and then I'm confirming it on the daily. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Now you can do it chart by chart. But I think easier than doing a chart by chart, just go into the bubbles. It gives you all the charts in one. So this is like looking at all the charts, who's breaking out on the 15-minute, who's breaking out. You can also see who's starting to decline very quickly, and then you can manage your positions.
Exactly. You want to see when Bitcoin moves, what's moving, like what's very bullish when it's bullish, what's very bearish when it starts to have a little bit of red.
Yeah. You also see there's this blue bubble. This is a bubble. If you pop it, there could be $50, $100, $1,000. There's $50,000 hidden in the blue bubbles. I'm not going to pop it because I actually want it live for my show. And once you pop it, it doesn't come back for a while, but it is there. So just keep watching it. Keep watching it.
Keep popping. So just quick one on here. So guys, first one, what I'm doing is I'm making calls, but I'm not making 100 calls anymore. I'm basically going per week. You saw this week, I was very strict on the calls that I made. And now I'm doing the same here. So I'm giving you guys 2-3 really good ones that I think are ready, that I think are worth it. And we're going to keep going that way. And let's get our accuracy like beyond what it's ever been before, and keep everything nice and settled. So Dot broke weekly, daily wedge now, weekly wedge now. I think there's going to be a small retest around probably a 3-4% pullback. And I think Dot wakes up. I think Dot starts to shift. I think the old alts that weren't doing much, I think something happens and they start to waken up. So pay attention to Dot. You want to focus on what's only broken trend now. It's buying something like, you know, these coins that are really like XRP or something like that. It can be a huge explosive thing because you're too late. So catch on ones that are early until XRP is back in the buy zone again. Then you can shift back. But for me, Dot is definitely one of the big ones. We definitely saw a link breakout yesterday, so that one's quite interesting. What's your thoughts on Phantom, bro? We spoke about this. Like, is Phantom... Ooh, it's crazy with Phantom, bro. What's gonna wake it up? Andre gonna wake it up.
Always comes back.
Let's speak about Injective. What's your thoughts? Because if Injective breaks these highs here, you know, me personally, I don't think it's too cheap for long term now, but it's very near breaking, you know, possibly these highs. And if it breaks the highs of $10, then you can open the doors to $16 on Injective. Like, are you still a big holder there? Are you holding this thing for long?
One of my biggest bags. I think I bought the ICO at like 7 cents or 50 cents or something. I mean, I've bought this thing years ago and I've just been holding it and holding it and holding it. And I just actually keep buying more and more and more.
Just keep buying more and more and more.
More and more. Right. I mean,
Let me just see.
Injective is the gateway into the Cosmos ecosystem, which I love. Injective, 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝗏, I love those ones because I think they're both gateways into Cosmos.
Okay, amazing. Here's our buy we gave on AVAX 2 days ago at $13. You're now at $15. Good. I do think short-term TP is at 16. Amazing. But if it can get through those levels, we got to get AVAX back to 20. If we can get back to 20 and open those doors, then it does open again to have the possible moves to the higher areas. Now, let's speak about one coin that didn't pump, BNB. Why? Like you saw Sol, you saw everything, bro.
BNB's got big problems. BNB, it's got big problems with, we don't know what the future is for CZ and for BNB, and, we don't know what the regulatory attack's going to do. What I did, I told you I went long Solana, short BNB. So there's a pair trade. So it's funding neutral more or less, and it's risk neutral more or less.
Because weekly RSI's reset, and it's saying if it gets through this area of the 260, 270, there's a catch up to 300.
But just think about it from a risk return. You've got all these altcoins that could run. Why do you want to buy an altcoin where the Department of Justice could come out any day and knock the coin down? Like, just think about, like, there's so many coins that haven't run. There's so many brilliant opportunities. Why do you go for BNB where the market cap's high, where the downside can be huge if something happens to CZ? Like, it doesn't feel right. Like, it just feels like you can be risk reward. You can be doing better things with your money, I think.
Well, the only reason I'm asking that is because bear marketed was the strongest holding token. It never went anywhere near the drops as in what. So when it comes to like safety, people want to put money in safety, like what they think. Like that's why I'm just asking the question.
I just think risk reward, bro. I can't get my head around the adjusting the risk reward there. Like it just doesn't sound right.
Agree. So guys, what I think is still a really good trade right now is Near Protocol. And why we put the tile just to start, because yesterday was a great daily pump. But I think that this is something that can continue really strong. And if I show Near as the example, look how it's literally, that's a huge move. It's a good 20-25% move. But we're only just starting to pop our head through on the weekly. And now what you're going to start to see is you want to start finding altcoins that are breaking that same trend that Solana did. Those long-term weekly trends, these are the ones that I think we want to break because, yes, we've had selective alts and selective narratives that's pumped over the last few weeks. I do think there's a scenario now where the whole altcoin market just pumps. I really do. Which means we are getting a near TP high, sort of thing when everything wakes up.
The whole game has changed. If these things are not securities, the whole game has changed. It's like you're playing, what it's like? I'll tell you what it's like.
You're not going to get retail, though.
It's like you're playing soccer. And then they say to you, listen, you're allowed to pick up the ball and run with the ball in your hands. It changes the whole game. It's not the same game anymore. It does,
but people don't understand that. As much as you teach it on your shows and stuff like that, that's not going to bring in retail. Retail is going to come when Pepe runs, when all the alts are running. Like that's just the thing. Like, is this current pump there to like smart money buying now, or is it to trigger retail? I think that's the question. If it's to trigger retail, I think the whole altcoin market has a continuation.
Someone else says it's called football. Please let us know in the comments if it's called football or soccer.
Football or soccer.
Is it called football or soccer?
Yeah. So guys, for me, my side, I still think DOT's available. I'm personally building a big Doge position, and that's it for now until I can confirm. I want more Solana at 26. And let's just see, guys. There is going to be a little red day at some point. So let's save some ammo for when that is to get some of the alts that are breaking these major trends. Don't FOMO too much into these pumps. Be a little bit more patient. But when it comes to breaking big structure, that this can be something for the next few weeks, we got to celebrate this and we got to trade it like this is alt season. Because ultimately, this play can play out any moment, and we got to be prepared.
A couple of announcements. Number one, I am doing a show. My show is going to be in about 2.5 hours. We're going to be covering this pump in much more depth. Number two, if you haven't signed up for Sniper School, this is the last free Sniper School, I think. I don't know if I'm not sure. But
the system's changing. The normal system of just an exchange and that it's changing.
It's changing. This is probably your last chance to sign up if you want to get in for free and get in very, very quickly. Sniper School's changed many, many lives. Lastly, if you are not already on the Banter Bubbles app on iOS or on Android, get Banter Bubbles. I'm not going to pop this one, but if you do pop it, there could be $50, $100, $1,000 inside the bubble. I'm not popping it because it only lets you pop a certain amount today, and I want to show it on my show as well. So I'm not actually going to pop this one, but you can download the app. And as I said to you, for me, the best way is you go onto you set your time frames, short time frame, longer time frame, and then into the daily, and you can see exactly what the trends in the market are all in one place. Which it's
such a powerful trading tool. Because as a trader, you just want to see what's the strongest moving alts. And the fact you just go to Bubbles and you can see what's moving quick on the hour, what's moving, it helps you select your alts. People always struggle, which alt should I choose?
Correct.
Choose the strong one. And then that's it. Cool, my brother.
Much love.
I'm going to watch your show. Much love. That was fun. People are saying, run and Sheldon shows. Run and Sheldon shows. Run and Sheldon shows.
Next week, I'm in Portugal with a fam, but I'll probably do some shows with you. But the week after, when I get back, I'm doing a whole lot of shows with you. I enjoy it. And in this market, it's the best.
This is what we do, bro. This is what we do. Guys, have a fantastic day. What's up?
There's been an ape breakout. Do me a favor, just chart ape for me quickly.
Ape. So ape got smashed. Let me get it here quickly. It got smashed, but it is gonna.
Just chart it for me.
Okay, let me chart it.
God, I can already see what that chart looks like.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so you obviously got this trend over here. This is interesting because I still think there's something here. There we go, bro. So it's not full break yet, but if this thing does pop through the 2.2, 2.3 over the weekend, it looks like it could be released. And where it will go is probably very similar to what happened with Solana. You know, that big level, it's nemesis. Yeah. Therefore, for that, it's showing $3 to $4. So good eye there. Good eye.
Oof. All right, listen, much love. I'm getting ready for my show. Also, want to have breakfast. I'll see you again. I'll chat to you. Listen, if there's a reason to go live on the weekend, let's go live on the weekend.
35K, I said it. So I am on a family holiday, but 35K, I'm in. Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, much love. Cheers, guys.
Much love, bro.
Much love.